Hi, it's Ben from Crompton Partners here, and today I want to talk to you about the report that just came out from the Abu Dhabi Department of Municipalities and Transport, which details the real estate transactions from Q1 2020. Now, they put out a report for the real estate transactions from 2019, so I want to contrast those two and also take a deeper look at the numbers. So in pure sales, we're looking at 8.7 billion of real estate real estate sales in Q1 of this year. Of those, 4.9 billion were land. Now, I want to be careful here because in 2019, they split it up into land and buildings. Here, they're just saying land, so that 4.9 billion might be land and buildings as well, and 3.8 billion of residential and commercial. Now, average sales transaction for land was 4 million. That's up from 2019 where it was 3 million. And the average sales transaction from residential and commercial was 1.6 million. Again, that's slightly up from 2019, which was 1.5 million. Now, those figures are broadly in line with what we saw last year. What's very interesting, and again, actually, we saw this last year as well, is the mortgage rates. So mortgages for residential and commercial in Q1 was only 200 million, right? On total sales of 3.8 billion. Right? So that means 3.6 billion of cash was used for residential and commercial transactions in that Q1, which is very unusual. Contrast that with the land sales. So in 4.9 billion worth of land sales, there were 10.5 billion of mortgage transactions. Obviously, there must be, a large number of remortgages there. And if you're taking into account buildings, that might show it, because it's actually very difficult to get a mortgage on pure land. It's not easy at all. Banks don't like to lend on pure land. So that's very interesting. A real lack of finance being used on residential and commercial. That's not what we see as brokers. We see most of the time buyers are going to the banks, so not quite sure who's buying with all this cash. Anyway, big transaction hotspots were Reem Island with 2 billion going on in Reem Island, and Saadiyat 1.5. Reem Island, currently we're seeing the handover of the bridges, so that might account for some of that, but it's likely there's been some large land transactions on Reem Island. 2 billion is a lot for the smaller residential and commercial units. Similarly, on Saadiyat, we're seeing the handover of Mamsha, Soho Square and Park View, and also sales in Saadiyat reserves, which might equate to some of that 1.5 billion. But it's likely, again, we're seeing some big land transactions going on in Saadiyat. It was reported in the news that Aldar was involved in some big land swaps with various government entities, so perhaps those have been factored in as well. But quite interesting numbers there, particularly the amount of cash being used for residential and commercial purposes.